All right, legends. Welcome back. Welcome back to another live stream. Just gonna let the legends know on Discord, and then we'll get into it. You know the business. Back at it. Back on the move. Come on now. All right. Let's let everybody know. And then we will jump into it. Let's do it. Alright. That is almost done, and then we are good to fly. I hope everyone is having an incredible week out there. I hope everyone is staying safe. We have a good amount to review because there was definitely a decent amount of activity that has piled in, and a good week to talk about. It's definitely more about a bumpier week that we've had so far, and not to say in one market versus the other, but just in its entirety, and it's expected. But yeah, excited to review it all. I gotta take a look at my calendar here real quick when the week started. I genuinely have no idea when what day it even is. That, legends, is the life of a I don't even know what to call myself. I was gonna say developer for a second, but I don't even know. That is the life of a entrepreneur, I guess, if you want to say. I don't really know. Alright, legends, I have one more announcement, and then we're jumping into it. So in the meantime, get your coffee, your tea, your charts, and get locked in. Alright. Boom, boom, boom. Nothing like just making all the announcements, and soon Excelsius. We'll be doing that one day. How cool. Alright, legends. Now let's make sure that this is actually streaming. And let's make sure that we are actually... We're good to go. Soon Excelsius. Alright, legends. Now let's make sure that this is actually streaming. I don't know why my mic is so high. I'm going to try to bring that down a little bit. Listening to the mic here. My mic is so high. Alright, I think we are good to fly, legends. Rock and roll. Welcome back to another live stream. For those that do not know, we take a look at all the trades that have been sent by Excelsius through Miracle. We're going to take a look at everything that has been going on for the week. It's definitely been a lot more of an active type of week, and we're into the 6th week now. So one thing I was actually thinking about as we actually were going into this week was when is going to kind of be our first rockier week or just bumpier week, just because the last 5 weeks have just been straight W's the entire way forward. And so yeah, it happened to just be this past week, and again, that's just reflective of conditions as a whole. A lot of our strategies currently are in trend-based momentum breakout type of strategies, and so of course when those strategies at some point are going to get caught, that is a natural part of the game. And so nonetheless was just a really good example though throughout these last couple of weeks of when we do give strategies or plays a chance, if they happen to just change their profitability or things just happen to change as a whole, ultimately in the end of the day, we can just simply cut them out, make adjustments, throw them back in. We saw some good examples of that.
Really good example.
And
I don't. These last couple of weeks of when we do give strategies.
Yeah, I don't know why it's like screeching type of audio. I apologize about that, Legends. Definitely going to be working on that. But nonetheless, as a whole though, it's again just really good lessons for everybody. Just really cool for us to showcase again how we go about taking strategies. And there was actually a good example, I think, with just the last couple, whether it was like a GJ strategy, I think with British Blitz, or even I think we made an update earlier. I'm taking a look now at the Discord here, and I think we made an update about. I mean, Excelsius does it all automated, so it's not necessarily on my end as much, but I think we made an update with regards to we threw back in Silver Star and Blue Chip Breaker, and Blue Chip Breaker was one that was kind of in and out, and we made some pretty good adjustments on it, and it's looking super smooth. But overall though, this has definitely been a lot more of a active week to say the least. I am really excited to be getting into all the activity that had taken place, and so Legends, let's jump into it. We got a good amount to review here. We definitely have been competing, that is for sure. Let's take a look at when the week had actually started. On the 1st, hey, rock and roll, pretty cool. So we did start on the 1st here, we'll just start with FX and move all the way down. The FX side again has been probably our best market as a whole. Just happen to have the most strategies on there right now, and I think we've taken like sub 5 losses. I was kind of annoyed because we just threw in a new strategy, Euro AUD, Thunder Down Under, and it happened to just get taken out straight away, and I was like, and so it actually also changed its profitability curve too, so we just threw it out and making adjustments as we speak. But let's start from the 1st here and really go through what's been going on. So UJ was the first strategy that fired away. A lot going on here with yen pairs, obviously, because of what economically is going on, and so that as a whole though, of course, is going to be one of the more active pairs. We've been getting a good amount of questions in context to why we're not necessarily trying to open up to like every JPY pair right now, or even every Euro pair and other pairs, and we're purposely doing this, not trying to overexpose you, Legends, and that's something really important to understand too. We could set up similar strategies across like 7 different yen pairs, but because of, for example, economically right now, they're all moving in tandem, right? That's really important to understand that it's in our best interest, right, to really be just focusing on the main pair in which everything is kind of tied to, instead of, for example, having when a USD JPY setup plays out, now you have UJ, AJ, CJ, all the others, right, and now you're taking 5, 6, 7 trades, and if it happens to be that one trade that gets caught, right, obviously that's really big exposure, and you could stay simultaneously for the other way too, and so that's just a great example again of how we also control types of strategies that we're putting in. Everything is meticulously done, specifically to make sure that we are profitable. And so let's start off here, Legends. Going to be taking a look at all the trades and seeing how we could have attacked them and what the core results were since they fired away. Alrighty here. September 2nd was the first USD JPY trade fired away, and that was fired away at 4:15 in the morning. So let's take a look at where we're going into here. So I'm going to assume right within here we can definitely see Excelsius is highlighting that as well straight away. Let's get our drawing tool in here. So we can see the first entry did get fired away within here. Short-term push, but still a really nice push as a whole. We can see a nice continued movement that had taken place within there. 145.686 was the entry, so right within here. This is a 15-minute time frame type of strategy, but just looking again at things on a higher time frame, specifically for just overall view, we can see 145.686 stops were at 144.652, so definitely below previous structure within here. And then TP1, and did we get to TP2? We did get to TP2 as well. Hit really nicely from entry here. I believe this pushed smoothly as high as I don't know. I'll do the math real quick. Not do the math. I'll do the calculation real quick here, legends. So we pushed roughly like 50 pips before any type of significant pullback. My big rule of thumb, again, legends, is the following. If you are going to run your trades past TP1, super important, you do put stops to break even because, again, you do not want to turn a winner into a loser. On this trade as well, we actually did have a follow-up signal that did come right as well. So we had a trade at 4, and then we had an initial trade that was in this candle in here. So basically Excelsius was building the initial trade, which was super cool. And then it finally gave that final entry within here, which was a different strategy than that initial intraday one. So that's super cool. It's kind of like a missile that's like kind of going off. So initially you had the intraday entry that came out, and then the swing entry, just a little bit more of a higher time frame, did come into play. Both of those did take profit, which was super great. And then we're going to take a look at the other USD JPY pairs. We won't go in order of when the signals were fired away, but we'll take a look at all of the other USD JPY plays that were sent through Miracle, and then of course we will go ahead and look at the other pairs accordingly. And so yeah, USD JPY super smooth to start. The first two trades we did knock out here. Nice 50 pips straight away. Once again, legends, all of these trades are fired away in our Discord. You can get access for free. 10 free trades are sent to you through Miracle. And then if you want to continue, simply just get going with your membership. It's the first ever pay-as-you-gain signal service where we track the trades, and your subscription is 100% dictated on our performance. If we're doing our job, your membership continues. If we're not doing our job, we pause your membership, change up our strategies until we get you back in the green, continue onwards. We have the software to control the type of profitability day in, day out. It's the name of the game. We've been holding down the fort. And so yeah, legends, make sure if you ever want to view these trades or just review the trades that I'm discussing about, you can always look at them. They're directly in the Discord as well. Then yesterday on the 3rd, we did have some USD JPY sells in here. Really nice that we can see 145.73 again at 4:30. How interesting it is that the first USD JPY signal was fired away at 4:15 in the morning, the next one at 4:30. Could be a coincidence, could be not. I'm going to assume that, London is just waking up and they're saying, hello, let's throw some some energy, some volume, some liquidity into the market. So that's most likely why, markets are rallying. But sell 145.733 at, not this time. Ooh, we're getting in a little bit earlier. Excelsius. Hello? You see that? I'm not trying to get too excited today because I know the volume on the Discord, the OBS is a little screechy right now, But you see the entry. You see we're outside right now. 145.77 to start right here. Bow. Okay. Immediately pushed TP. I think it was like 10-15 pips. Or maybe it didn't. Did it? Yeah, it did. That tacked right through. But then, you could have still ran this if you wanted. You could have still ran a continuation play. If not, all good. I mean, stops would have been taken out, but you could have looked for another correction downwards. But then, 9:15 in the morning, right around here, boom, Excelsius signals another sell. Continuation to the downside. We do get that initial push within here. TP does get hit from 145.58. Hello. So 145.58 was the second entry, which was right within here. And so from 58, we dropped as low as, we dropped 145.14, so roughly like 40 pips again. One thing as well that I want you legends to always be mindful of too, and this is something that I've been thinking about a lot, really important you understand this concept. Duration of movement is all based on extent of play in contrast to environment. And that's very important. It's very important to understand that. Trading in general is a low hang time type of game as trading goes as a whole. Big swing movements, and I mean, that result in days at a time. I'm not going to associate a certain pip number because that's subjective, right? You could have a pair like AUD-NZD that moves 10 pips, for 3 days, while you have a pair like GJ that will move hundreds of pips in fluctuation. But it's super important, and you can see this through Blueprint, you can see this through all the data. You won't see, obviously unless they're news driven, but you're not going to see movements that happen for 50, 60, 100 pips, 200 pips consistently in a straight line. It doesn't happen like that, mainly because of the way that trading works as a whole. The lower the hang time, the more technical of an environment you're in. The longer the hang time, the more fundamental it becomes. Simply because as time continues to exist within a trade, at some point it's going to hit something that is news related or fundamentally related, or it's going to enter into a fundamental region or environment, and that eventually will cause some type of change within the price, maybe to further the current sentiment or maybe potentially change the current sentiment. That's why it's super important that you legends understand that when you're building trading models and you're building the strategies as a whole, there's nothing wrong, again, with trying to build strategies that are hundreds of pips or 200 pips or whatever your goals or ambitions are. But it's really important to understand the variables associated. Like all the time I hear traders come to me and they're saying, I'm missing trades, or I'm trying to run them too long, or I'm getting in and then I'm putting my stops to break even, I'm not necessarily taking profit, or whatever it is, or it's really tough for me to hold for durations of time, and you have all these variables involved, right? And the basis in the end of the day is just, if you look at structure as a whole, structure doesn't move as cleanly as Instagram likes to make it seem. Yes, in a short window, for sure, you could skate all day. You could skate all day. I have the data to prove that, 1,000%. In a longer term window, it's much more less frequent. I'm not going to say it's more difficult, it's just less frequent. Like I could easily build strategies for you legends that, for example, go for hundreds of pips or whatever it is, but they will shoot maybe like 2 or 3 times every 2 or 3 weeks, right? And again, for traders that are really looking to have activity within their portfolio, it's not optimal, right? Now, the cool thing though, again, right, is if you understand those variables, then trading becomes a lot easier. It becomes more suppressed in the end of the day, just fundamentally because you become a lot more knowing. And I talk about this all the time, and that's why Excelsius has just changed so much as a whole, which is the fundamental issue with just trading in and of itself is obviously the emotional state, and that's just a result of not having enough data associated to what it is that you're doing. When you have the data, you start to know, you become more emotionally suppressed, but not data in context of just strategy, right? But also data in context just environment, expectations, what could be coming out, right? And so nonetheless though, we like to exhibit this through our models, through our trading, and as time goes on, right, like one of the things that I'm really excited for, one of the goals, for example, I want to have is like, I want to be able to say by the end of the year I have over 100 plus strategies for Miracle. That'd be super cool, right? And as time goes on, even more so, I want to be able to showcase just, again, the pure stats of, hey, if you're a trader that wants like a 3-to-1 or a 4-to-1, that's fine, but like expect to win 30 or 40% of the time, and like it just there's no one out there that's doing it 90% of the time. I can assure you on that. If they did, they would have automated their approach, and that's a completely different discussion at that point. And then you have the trader that comes out and be like, well, I can't automate the way that I think. You're talking to the master of that concept there, okay? And my brain's in the charts now, nonetheless though, little rant on that regard, as a whole though, just want to kind of touch base on that. USD JPY though, 2 super smooth plays, super straight continued movement. Shout out to Excelsius on there. And then we did have three more USDJPY plays that were fired away. 8:45 p.m. Last night. So let's take a look there. This is 10, 11, 12. Let's go into the evening. So 8:45 puts us at 8 p.m. So that'd be like 20. Yeah. So right around here, entry was at 144.99. So 145 on the dot, basically. Oh yes, I remember this trade. We got caught into some drawdown here. I think this is the first UJ trade that got caught in some drawdown. 145.99, and not a lot of drawdown, right? But like most of the UJ trades that we get, because of just what is going on economically, they're really smooth. They just go through. Also, we have a velocity type of filter on there too, and that in and of itself as well, really makes things a lot smoother. By the way, velocity's coming into the toolkit. Super excited. That's going to be sick, as well as Blueprint. A lot of upgrades coming out in a couple of days. Really excited for everybody. Yeah, so got a little bit of drawdown on here. Our stops though were at 147.18, so above previous structure, not getting touched. Get a little bit of pullback. This is something that I talk about all the time, which is, again, you can use the toolkit for continued entries. Let's talk about this here real quick. You get a little miracle signal in here. Price does go into drawdown. Let's talk about how you could just simply look for a continued entry. And I'm going to show you some cool things that you can do with this real quick, Legends. So watch this, right? On the 1 hour time frame right now, we can see that Excelsius is telling us it's bearish. Remember, we did get a miracle signal in here, so we're already in the trade, or we're looking for sells. And let's say you want to take advantage of this pullback here and you're trying to look for that continued entry. You just simply drop down to a smaller time frame, 15, 5, or 1, based on whatever your overall preference is. And then what you can just do is just look for continued entries, or you can just look for trend changes and just go within there. And what you can also do too, which is super unique, is you can just go into the toolkit here, right? And you could just simply bring up the trend identifier, and you could just go ahead and change actually the chart from the time frame that you're on to that higher time frame structure. So now what's going to happen here when this loads up is the entire chart is actually going to change to that higher time frame structure here, which you can see now. Before, it was obviously variations of that different color, but now if you go ahead and you just take a look as a whole, what had happened, basically we forced now the lower time frames to be mindful of what's going on from the higher time frames. So nonetheless, you're never forgetting about that higher time frame bias, right? It's all about confluence in the end of the day, and just understanding as a whole what it is that's going on. And so you can just see here, right, just by simply just changing that in context too as well with the miracle signal. Now we know, for example, okay, looking for sales, higher time frames telling us looking for sales. Now let me just set up the short-term play, right? And you can even see here, market did just change, with bearish as well. And again, you could either just build a really short-term play within here, right? However you want to structure it, or of course you could do this in tandem, with the miracle signal as well, and you can keep the same structure there, and then just simply run the continued movement, to the downside with the same miracle signal that we had, right? And this is the super unique thing that you can do in the end of the day when it comes down to using miracle signals in tandem with the toolkit as well. And look how easy it was to set up that play. You get a miracle signal, goes into a little bit of drawdown, you know where the overall momentum is, we're using the toolkit in tandem with it, and very simply just setting up the play accordingly. And so super cool concept, right? Just putting the confluences together and then just mapping out the plays. This is what we talk about all the time. For those that do not know, the toolkit is free for all Miracle members right now. That is a promo we're running that will not last for too much longer. So make sure you take advantage of that. Toolkit is available for free if you're a Miracle member, which means you'll get automated analysis, you get automated signals, and you get automated market outlooks now. Legends, we are covering the entirety of it, and you get all future upgrades too. Come on now, talk to us nice. So yeah, take advantage of that promo. Don't forget about that, all right? But yeah, great example here. of just, again, get a miracle signal, goes in a little bit of drawdown, boom, look for the entry. Simple as that, right? So that was the UJ play that fired away at 3:30 in the morning. Or no, not 3:30 in the morning. That was 8:45 p.m. Apologies, legend. So we do get that. That did go into a little bit of drawdown right there. And then we did get a play at 3:30 in the morning from USDJPY. I'll drop down to the 15 for you legends real quick so we can kind of look at things a little bit more in a nicer scale. Legends, do you see how beautiful the analysis is? It gets me every time. It gets me every time. When you have been charting as long as I have been charting, and you have something that just like that, it's like a chef's kiss. You just appreciate it that much more. It almost brings me to tears every time. It's crazy. Can't get over it. Can't get over it. Yeah, lads, I'm actually a little bit of tears. I love this. I can't tell you in words. Like, I love this. It's the best. It's the best. I don't know how to describe it. It's just the best. 3:30 a.m. Let's take a look here. 3:30 in the morning. I'm like, I'm looking at the chart here. I'm like, what's going on? But that's because we're in replay mode here. 3:30 in the morning right here. We signaled. Again, we could use this great example. You could look for continued entries. Boom, price is pulling back. Look for that 5-minute entry. Run the trade back down. Talk to us nice. Come on now, right? So we get another signal here from Excelsius. 3:30 in the morning, 144.80. Okay. And then obviously you get a great entry. It is a great entry in the grand scheme of things. I was just thinking about all the legends out there that are going to be like, price pulled back and went into a little bit of drawdown. Understand that it is natural. If anything, I would rather have a play that goes into drawdown first, then just pushes straight through. You know why? Because at some point you have to ask yourself, when is it pulling back? You know what I mean? How many times you've been into a trade, thing was up 20, 30, 40 pips, and then you're telling yourself, when are you coming back? Because you have to pull back. It is part of the game. Profit taking is natural. It has to take place. You know what I mean? Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But nonetheless, yeah. Great example again. Let's take a look at it together real quick. You get that miracle signal. Price is pulling back a little bit, right? You know that you're moving into previous areas within here. So you are moving into this previous high. You do have these as well. Great stopping points to be looking for. You drop down to the 5. Same concept if you want. Higher the time frame, obviously, better it is for you. Again, we'll change that trend. Time frame's already on the trend identifier, so we're good to go. And then boom, we're just looking for some type of change in direction. And once you get that change in direction, again, you can set up the same play. I would personally put my stops above higher time frame structure because I'd like to be a little bit more conservative. You could either put your stops above more recent structure or even go higher. It's just up to you, but I'm pretty sure both of them work out anyway to a 1-to-1. And again, this is in tandem with the miracle signal. So with this, right, again, just another prime example. You get the miracle signal where my initial drawing is here. You do get a little bit of a pullback. Again, set up the play, look for a continued entry, and this just happens, I believe, just to play out really nicely for us. And again, just a really good example of how you can just go about continued movements, and just using the toolkit as a whole, and just more importantly being able to just map out plays accordingly. So a little bit of both for everybody, for those that are just looking for that passive income type of trade, or for those as well that are looking to take advantage of all the tools that we have here. You of course have a lot of variations available. And then we had one more signal this morning, 10:15, 144.291, and that just went straight through, I'm going to assume after. Yeah. So we get this big candle here right into that New York session, and then it's just been continued movement since then. So another solid week. Yen has been obviously our best pair, and it just makes sense. It's the smoothest available. I don't think, I'm not going to even say it because last time I said it too, we got a loss on it. So I'm not going to even say it, okay? But yeah, UJ as a whole has been really, really good. So that's UJ. A lot of activity. All right, let's take a look at the one that I don't want to look at because it's like, we brought you in here, we gave you a chance, and you disappoint. You just disappoint. Thunder Down Under got benched. It got benched. You are really down under right now. You are in the down. We need to fix you. Let's talk about it. What happened? We got caught on a continuation play, and there she went. Shout out to Excelsius, by the way, for predicting the change in direction. Kind of sucks that your system ultimately is predicting the potential change, and you kind of have to fight it, but it is what it is. But yeah, not much more I can say about that. Simple continuation play for those that want to know the trade concept real quick here. Let's just review that together, more educational. So we go to the daily here. And let's just go to a little bit more of a quicker type of time frame here, more to a lightning type of speed, and we'll see here that market is for sure bearish, looking for that little pullback for that continued movement back to the downside. Simple play in context to what we were looking for. I don't know if this is a swing strategy or a lightning strategy. I'm just going to keep it on the swing side for now, which is balanced. But I gotta get a faster computer. My computer cannot handle the amount of programs that I am running. It's just not possible. Anyways, we get this entry in here. This is exactly where it's signaled. Entry was at 163.02, so like literally on there, and then stops were above previous structure to the left here, and yeah, I gotta say, what was the low of this? No, we didn't even get close. We were only up like 10 pips in there. So I mean, we had like a little push, but nothing too crazy, and then we just got taken out. There's not much more I can say about that, right? I'm not gonna lie. This one hurt a little bit. This one definitely hurt a little bit. I mean, when you bring in a new player onto a team, you got high hopes for them, and then they just disappoint. It's literally what happened. It's literally what happened. We've been running Miracle now, last 6 weeks. Super smooth with all the plays we've been keeping on the lineup, right? Super smooth. And then there comes the Thunder Down Under. Trying to enter, trying to hang out with the big kids. She got benched. Now, the thing that I didn't like about the strategy as a whole is just like, there was no fight. You didn't have a chance to breathe. It was just straight drawdown the whole time. But that's trading for you. Sometimes it happens. That's why the name of the game, again, that's why, of course, what we do from the automation standpoint really embodies what you should be doing, which is, it's all data driven, but the name of the game is, you find an edge and you're just trying to simply just roll the dice, the same way 10 times, and hopefully that edge plays out, whatever based on your statistics are, right? Manual trading tends to suffer a lot because there's really a lot of inconsistent variables associated to the way a lot of people go about their trading, right? And so that's why you do have those inconsistencies. But nonetheless, I'll tell you this, she's back in the shop. She will be back better than ever. But yeah, she's not ready yet. She needs more time training. No, we just got to work out some tweaks on her. But that was Euro AUD, is what it is. Not much else I can say on that. We did have a little Euro USD signal that did fire away here earlier in the day, and then now I think, I don't know where it is now. But yeah, we did have a little bit of a Euro USD buy signal that was sent out in the morning here, 10:42 to be exact. So within this candle in here, and the entry was 110,685. So right within here, and then yeah, there's just a straight push. This got as high as 110,195. So roughly 31 pips on this. Stops were actually pretty decent, legends. Pretty decent. 110,264 were stops. So basically just right here, sitting this below. And not much more I can say about that. This was just a super smooth play in context to Euro USD. Yeah, really, really easy across the board. Yeah, not much else I can say about that. And that, legends, is the FX side. So we had a lot of UJs. I think we had on the FX side so far 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 FX trades sent so far. 1 loss, 8 dubs. Not bad. I told you our FX side again happens to just be our best market right now as a whole. Yeah, you know, I think, you know, that will definitely change as we just add more pairs in. Yeah, just super consistent across the board, and really, really good. So yeah, that was the FX side. Really smooth stuff. Shout out to those that did get involved in those plays. Once again, if you want to look at all the trades I'm looking at, just head over to the Discord server. Take a look in there. You'll be able to see every single trade that we did fire away at. Yeah, rock and roll. Indices. Let's take a look at the indice market. Let's see how many trades we fire away at. We've only sent 2. 1 loss, 1 W. Same strategy. Good for you guys to take a look at in there. And just, again, we don't necessarily cut trades just because they take losses, right? The strategy has to become unprofitable, and then our systems let us know. We shut them down. We make tweaks. That's the name of the game. That's how we can control the profitability. That's how we can run a service in which we run. The name of the game for you legends. I've been talking to a lot of you legends about this. By the way, we are coming out with it, so be on the lookout for it as well. We are launching our own risk calculator in the Discord server too. So that's going to make things a lot easier. But the best way, if you are someone that just copies and pastes the miracle trades into your trading account to have the most consistent results, you need to fix your trading risk. It's very important. Do not trade per lot size. Please do not trade per lot size. Please trade based on a fixed risk percentage. That is the best way to control the type of profit or loss you're going to have, and especially based on how we go about tracking your trades. It's exactly how we track your stats. It's fixed risk per trade. You can obviously view your stats anytime in the stats portal, but again, it is fixed risk per trade. And so just 2 strategies so far this week, US 30 USD. Let's take a look. First one was sent on the 2nd. Second one was sent on today. Okay, let's take a look at the first one. First one was sent 41,531 at 1:30 in the morning on the 2nd. So that is like right around here. Somewhere in here. Yep, right around here. 41,531 was the entry point. 41,531 was the entry point. Literally got caught at the tops here. Let's take a look environmentally real quick. I always like to take a look just on why plays happen to get caught, or they happen to get just caught in that regard. Man, my computer legends, I apologize. I don't know why it just goes and gets so laggy in this regard. And I do really apologize on that note. On the 4-hour time frame here, we were just at a pretty toppy environment. If we do zoom out, oh but no, we're hitting all-time highs right on Dow. Yeah, so it's understood. It's understood. Then, you know, price is going to shake up a little bit, and I've talked about this before. You don't know how long price is going to be, sitting within those regions for. So that's all right. It is what it is. We tried. You get caught. No worries. No harm. No foul. Took the loss, and then we had another signal. 4880. So that was a really nice entry. Super smooth. Let's drop to the 15 for that one. That is a super smooth entry that we had on US 30 to make up for the loss that we had. You can see where the candle color changed as well. We had entered, I think, just a tad earlier, but we did take the same entry within here, and this is just a straight push into TP 1, 2, and 3. So shout out to those that did take advantage of this. 4:30 in the morning, and then stops were 46.10, so nothing too crazy. Below previous points, I'm going to assume to the left over here. Yep. So below previous points of structure here to the left, 46.10, so kind of sitting right within here. But yeah, overall, just really smooth trading for the second play to the upside. Great example to show you, legends, that we don't just cut trades just because they take losses. Again, strategy has to become unprofitable. Wall Street Wave has just been a really good strategy for us. Actually, I think that's its first loss that it's taken since we've sent it out. So yeah. Crypto, XRP USD happened to TP after the signal that was fired away at. That was really great to see as well. I believe that was a pretty interesting type of trade because that just wicked straight through. But we were in just some consolidation for some time on this here. Let's take a look here real quick. So entry was 54.87 on the 30th. So that I think was right around here on Friday. And then I was talking about this too. I said this is probably going to go through because even though market is ranged a little bit more sided to the buy side, the chances of it really significantly reversing are quite slim right now because there's a lot of intraday structure that was created, like a lot, right? You can just see when you have, and this is a good example for you legends, but when you have something that's created over the duration of weeks, and just really significant points within here, right? You need something pretty big, something like this, of course, that obviously is going to really change the entirety of the scope of how market's moving. And so, nonetheless, this did TP as of last night because it did just wick straight through. And so, shout out to those that did take this. Nothing too crazy here. We just have 50 points at a time when we do send our XRP plays. And for my crypto enthusiasts, BTC and ETH strategies are back in the swing of things. So those are also back on the play as well. And those are really smooth strategies we have. It was unfortunate they weren't firing away for the last couple weeks, but those are back rocking and rolling. So really excited about those. And then commodities, we haven't had anything because we are still in that same gold trade from last week. That one is still going right now, and I think it's just really fluctuating. Again, stops are at 24.50, and so until we really take out that significant point, for those that just want to kind of look at how this is being assessed as a whole, this is your initial rally or your impulse, and this is your correction right now, and at some point this will continue to the upside. That is a given. That is exactly what is developing within here, and that's why, again, it's really important to understand that sometimes having tight stops or playing with tight variables is sometimes not in your favor, just because, again, you want to take a look at the entirety of the scope. Gold is hitting an all-time high, so if you are going to look for that continued buy, at some point, again, you are going to get caught. It's natural. No one can't call the top, so with that, it's important that you do, of course, account for that. Nonetheless, though, great examples again of, and I'm sure there's just a lot of different ways from when we sent the initial signal that you could have looked for continued buys. And you can just see in here, right, from when we had sent that initial signal, there have been a couple of rallies that you've been able to take advantage of. And it just really depends, again, on your style of play, and you can use the similar game plans of what I was talking about previously, drop down to a smaller time frame and look for continued plays. Important to be mindful, though, that right as you keep looking for that continued play, it may become shorter and shorter. For example, like this was quite nice. You might say, this next one, why didn't it happen? Because eventually if price fails to sustain its continued movement, at some point that ideology, let's say for the buys in this sense, is going to become weaker and weaker. Eventually it's going to need to move to a point that's a little bit more significant to gather liquidity, to gather orders before another continued movement potentially takes place. And that's just how statistics roll in, how fractal analysis plays in, which is going to be launching on Friday. V4 Legends, come on now, put some respect on Excelsius' name. Number one AI in the game when it comes to trading, for sure, hands down. But yeah, still in this play, can't talk much about that. And then last but not least, the equity market making a little bit of a shake up here. We are also unloading some new strategies next week into the equity side of things, so excited to show you guys those as well. We unfortunately did have to bench Apple Infinite Loop. It was actually doing quite well for us for a good amount, and overall we were profitable on the P&L. A good example again to see how, just for you guys to take a peek on our mindsets as a whole. But yeah, when it comes to strategies, right, we don't care if the strategy continues to perform for the next 6 months or a year or 2 years or 5 years. If a strategy's model is profitable and the strategy produces continued profitable results for the time in which it's going to until it becomes unprofitable, we're very happy. So for example, if we have a strategy like Apple that we've created, Infinite Loop, it takes 25 trades for us, happens to win 22 or 23, and then it takes 2 losses, and those 2 losses change its profitability. All is good. We handshake it out, make some tweaks, make some adjustments, and then we'll put it back in. It's as simple as that, right? That's how you got to look at this as a whole. You got to be really dynamic with the game. You can't be so fixated on you have this golden strategy or this golden ideology. It's about just moving as the conditions adjust and, just as they're dynamic and really moving based on the now and not so much of what had happened in the then. And I tell people this all the time, like, you don't need to develop strategies that backtest for years and years and years and years and years because you're not trading then, you're trading the now, right? Super important. Let's go into Infinite Loop. So yeah, TP'd last week, and then came out on the 29th. So let's take a look at that real quick here. 29th, so right here, Thursday. And yeah, there just hasn't been much activity, right? But just got taken out and then just ripped through stops. Not much else I can say about that. Got caught, tried playing a little continuation play here. There's not much more I can say about that. Yeah, just gonna make some adjustments to her. And then we had Tesla, though, come in. Did send 2 trades, which was great. First one was fired away yesterday, and then we had another one that was fired away today. I'm really going to fix this lagging issue. I'm very sorry about this, Legends. It's very annoying. I don't know why. I think it's just because when I do start to stream, everything just gets really, really intense. So I'm really sorry about that. First Tesla signal we had was yesterday at 2:18. Second Tesla signal was sent at 2:20. Both of them did hit TP. This I guess was the TP candle that we did push through. First signal was sent yesterday, so yesterday at 10:30 a.m. Oh, but no, it can't be yesterday. Yesterday was Labor Day. How could it be yesterday? How are we getting a signal from yesterday? Where did that signal even come from? Am I looking at that right? It's wild. Oh! Yesterday was not Labor Day. I literally just thought, this is what I was telling you about, Legends. This is what I'm saying. I don't even know what day it is. I thought yesterday was Monday. Yesterday was not Monday. Yesterday was Tuesday. Ridiculous. Anyways. Wow. 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 Well, anyways, 10:30 in the morning, we do get a signal right in here. 2:18.05 is the first one. Does get into some drawdown. We do get the push. Second signal was sent at 2:20. 2:21.5, and then we do get a push. 2:22 as high, I believe, today. This did go to, went to TP3. Nice. So this did hit TP3 as well, and knocked out both. And so, all in all, still a really solid week. I think, let's count here real quick, but we had, 9 or 10 FX, two indices, two stocks so far. So about like 15, 16 trades as a whole, which is still not bad, right? Nothing what we're used to. Conditions are a little bit more slow than what they were, but it is only Wednesday, so we'll probably finish somewhere in the 20s. Maybe we'll push into the 30s. Pretty consistent though with what we've been experiencing, but still a pretty good week overall. And yeah, there's not much else I can say about that. It has just been a little bit more bumpier than what we've been used to, and that again is expected, just because at some point conditions are going to change. It's great for us just to be able to showcase you guys in the end of the day, just different ways that you can go about different pairs, and more importantly what we do when strategies change, or different things that we'll do as a whole. And Legends, just excited to continue to keep just showcasing how we go about just our management as a whole, and just more importantly everything that we do. And so Legends, all in all, this is going to conclude today's live stream. For those that do not know, these live streams do take place every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What we do here is we review all of the trades that are sent by our AI Excelsius, that are sent through the Discord server, which we have an automated Discord server that, of course, runs Miracle, which is the first ever pay-as-you-gain Signal subscription service where your subscription status is 100% dictated by the performance of the trades. If the trades that we send you are good, we will continue your membership. If they're not good, we'll pause your membership, change the strategies that we're sending you, and then continue onwards. Also, we are running some promos. If you do want to get this toolkit, this automated analysis, you do see that I am using in here. All Miracle members do get access to the toolkit for free. In addition, you also have automated market outlooks, which we just launched. And on Friday, Legends, we are launching fractal analysis, so be excited for that. That's the big theme behind everything, of course, but we do have a lot of cool updates that are coming out. Just posted in there. We got candlestick analysis, one of the new things. I got a bunch of new entries for blueprint, new iteration, just a lot of new upgrades as a whole, and it's one of the big things we're going to be focusing on for the remainder of Q3 and then moving into Q4, which is just coming out with a lot of new updates as time goes on, because we really want to empower you guys and give you guys as many tools as we can, and we have that ability to do so. And so be on the lookout for V4 on Friday. Really excited coming to the toolkit and to Blueprint. Friday's live stream will be a little bit longer because we're going to be taking a look, of course, at all the trades that were sent from Wednesday to Friday, and then we're going to also take a look at Miracle and Blueprint, not Miracle and Blueprint, Blueprint in the toolkit with fractal analysis, and then Legends, we just continue to keep rocking and rolling. And so, nonetheless, still a pretty good week overall. Like I said, a little bit bumpier than normal, but really just excited to showcase how we go about, combating those conditions. And Legends, that's going to conclude the live stream for today.